sort of pulled away after a poor start, so it should be interesting to see where it goes today.
Here we go. The only preliminary final of the Mpnfl 2 division, and it's Somerville v Karingal. And out of the ruck, Roberts wasn't able to get the tap down, and ensuing was a scrum. The ball hasn't yet been taken out, and we'll have a ball up straight away. We expect a large amount of intensity, as Lang Warren will most likely be watching on as well to see who they play. And there's the first free kick of the day. It'll be Max Smith to take it off, and he hand passes to his teammate, who sends a long one and a half forward. Robinson, who kicked 6 last week, we'll see it out of bounds, and we'll have the first ball up inside Karingal's forward 50.
And Sedgwick, he's going to have to do a big job on Matt Robinson today. As Dill said, he kicked 6 last week. Pearcedale didn't really have any correct matchup for him, so Sedgwick has a big job today. Tapped out by the rucks, and there is that man Sedgwick, instantly wrapped up by the opposition in Oscar Whitty for Karingal. So a quick stoppage. Smith in the ruck going against Robert. Sedgwick with a big fist. Straight out to a Karingal play in Pomeroy, though, who tries to charge through. Tackle late on him. Called play on. Whitty handballs. Evades the player. Kicks it, and that's going to go right out on the full. Darcy Hope a little angry he missed out on that one.
It'll be in the back pocket for Somerville. Of course, no Luke Rowe today, out with concussion. So Mitch Mantell with some heavy duties. And he'll send a long one out to half-back Roberts. At front position, Alanis is waiting for it. Roberts went again. And it trickles closer to the boundary line, and eventually we'll have a stoppage. Less than 2 minutes in. Karingal with the only attack inside 50. Thomas Roberts against Max Smith in the ruck. Alanis scrambles one forward, high up and under they come from every angle, and converging on the ball to take it away is Lockie Haskett. And it's out of bounds, off the knee, and we'll have another boundary throw in inside Karingal's 50.
So Haskett was taken over the line by a Bull defender. And now we'll have another boundary throw in. High and long this one goes. Roberts pushes out towards the front, trying to get it a hit out. And that should be high, and it is. So Josh Bradley will have the first set shot on the game and has the opportunity to kick the first major for either side. And what a great start this would be for Karingal. He's such a great pressure player is Bradley, ranked elite in tackles. And he's gone back a fair bit here to kick his goal on the set shot. Thomas Roberts, the ruckman, on the mark. So he strolls through. And he kicks it straight. Karingal hit the board first. 3 minutes in, 6-0.
Similar to the last time these sides played, Karingal had 4 goals in the opening quarter. Somerville with the 1, but we know what happened from quarter time.
Yeah, well, Somerville, they were just a bit ineffective entering inside 50 in that first quarter, and then came roaring back and set up really well behind the ball. Karingal were unable to do anything about it.
Yet to do so, yet are Somerville. And Roberts in the ruck, giving his crummers the opportunity. Going out at Luke Burton, who's back in the side today, and they'll be rewarded with a free kick. Joshua McMahon, the man to take it. In fact, it's Luke Burton, who lowers the eyes inside 50. Alanis had probably the best look. Here's Gillis. We know how fierce he is at the footy. Another high kick. Camped underneath is Burton, who was obstructed in the field of play. McKenzie looking to hack it forward. McMahon again. Ball still there to be won. Eventually is Alanis, and now a scrap kick out to the wing. Hope with front position. McKenzie wearing him like a glove. Hand passes into the main field of play. Burton shrugs off one and has Brewer beside him, and out to the wing they go. Somerville, they can either slow it down or take it away. For the moment, it's Jake Wybrow.
So Wybrow marks it on the wing. Poor kick, however, so they're just rushing to get out. Here is Alanis. Kicks one of the famous goals in Mpnfl history last week. No mark taken in the contest between Glenn and McMahon, and we'll have another stoppage.
See how Gillis turns up today.
Yeah, he played in the Resi's game last week against Crib Point, coming off that broken ankle, and it's going to be a block going in the way of Somerville. Advantage paid. So here's Maroney, hits the chest of his player, who falls back a bit. They could play on here. Going to wait a bit sharp, kicks it into the pocket. He's got a lead in. Gillis And it wasn't Gillis, sorry, it was Harrison Paul. Got the similar colour lime green boots on today, and now Harrison Paul can line up and try tie this one up. So Paul, pretty tough angle this one, from 45 or so out. Here is Paul. That's looking straight. The wind's going to push it a little. Won't make the distance. Sorry, Smith. Handballs. Whistle blown. And the call is a rush behind.
Karingal from full back. Hope charging at the footy over his head. Roberts able to track it down. Tackled but released the hand pass in time. Maroney settles. Heads back to Josh McMahon, who's had a few disposals early. Has Ryan McMahon, his brother, beside him. He kicks to open space at the wing. It's Nagel and Haskett. Nagel has to contend with one opponent, and now they all swarm towards him. Haskett and Bradley could both watch this out, but it's Haskett who hand passes. And there's a whistle. It'll be a throw in. 45 out from Somerville's goal. Lachlan Sharp in the ruck. No Brendan Head today for the Eagles. Mason yet to touch the ball, but we know how quickly he can have an impact. And another ball up inside the 50. 6.5 minutes into this opening quarter of the preliminary final on Saturday afternoon football. Karingal one straight, Somerville one behind. Wybrow was bypassing, and here is Mason on his wrong side. It won't make the distance, it'll fall short, and Karingal in defence take the mark through Mitch Glenn.
So it didn't have much spin to it all, that kick. Just sort of floated in the air as it was Glenn who marked it. Nearly missed his man there. Plays on from the back 50. Running is that man in Lachlan Hind for Karingal. Should get to the boundary line. Will it stay in play? No. Dead ball. And we know Lachlan Hind is such a powerful runner. Had a couple sections last week where he just sprinted like a madman down that wing. So tapped out by the ruckman in Smith, trying to evade traffic. McMahon lost it. Somehow got it to his teammate though in Mantell. And then a clean mark taken right next to the boundary line by Williams, who's having a terrific season for the Summy Eagles.
Standout performance last week, Baz.
He was one of the better players in that Langy game. Kicked 3 goals, inside 50 entry. Can anyone stop it for Karingal? Got numbers flooding back. Want ball to the Summy fans, and they won't get it. Connor Leslie wrapped up in that tackle.
Eight minutes through, and on the Chisholm Sports Academy scoreboard, it's Karingal early by 5 points. Here is Williams. Didn't get the kick away. And now it's edging closer to the pocket. Paul with a couple confronting him. Couple bulls, that is, and it spills out of bounds again. Plenty of entries from either side. It was Karingal early on attacking. It's been Somerville in the last couple of minutes controlling play at their tempo and out of the ruck. Smothered kick off the boot of Sharp. They're still trying to make a way out. Here's Mason, threads it through. Unable to pick it up is McMahon. And now on the 50, Haskett to get Somerville started. It ricochets off his opponent, and another boundary throw in to follow.
That would have been a certain goal for that man, Lachlan Haskett. But great work by Max Smith, the ruckman there, to spoil it. So now a boundary throw in deep in the pocket for the Somerville Eagles, who are looking to book a grand final spot against the Langwarrin Kangaroos, the side they lost to last week. Traffic is really congested here. Now they get out, and that's a poor kick. It will be out on the full. And that one was from Connor Leslie. So Sedgwick, who had a pretty good start to the game, the ball hasn't gone near him since, but provided some defensive help earlier on. So he instructs his teammates to move across. Has to kick it to a pack. Can anyone take a mark? That was very close for the Harrison Paul. Out by hands. Wybrow dishes it off. Great ball movement by the Summy Eagles. Couldn't take the mark though. unfortunate. They could be out here, the Bulls. Darcy Hope has the speed on Mackenzie. Just needs to get a bit of space. A great cut back. Now, dishes it off. Has a player running on. What great teamwork. Robinson back over, unselfish. And now Robinson waits in the goal square and kicks a great goal. So it was the handball from Smale. Then over to another teammate and ended up with Robinson, who was just patiently waiting all by himself in the goal square. Great sequence from Karingal. I thought they may have just handballed it too much there, but no, good on them. Great sequence for the Bulls.
Yeah, could have had a shot there, Jordan Smale. But in the end, Matty Robinson picking up where he left off. And over 10.5 minutes in, it's Karingal, 2 goals straight, and Somerville with the only minor score of the day, and it was a rushed behind as well. Robertson in the middle again, v Smith. Robertson paddles it down, creating something, smothering it is Pomeroy, and now he'll lope after it with a couple Eagles clamouring off his back. Matthews to half forward, open space, numbers with the Eagles. Mantell is one of them, faked one way. He brushed off McLeod's effort, and it was a smothered ball out to the wing, so we'll have a throw in. Touched off the boot, they say. Kane McKenzie playing a strong defensive role early. He's beaten Darcy Hope in a couple of one-on-ones, not the previous one on the fast break. They do have their hands full. Of course, no Luke Rowe today. And at the wing, now to half forward. Turns into half back as Lachlan Cowell tracks back for the mark. And he's ready to activate Hind through the middle. It was a little indiscriminate. Mason has to be composed here. The numbers are with the Bulls. And pass across from Bottoms. And now Glenn to half forward. Couldn't take it cleanly, could Mantell. And out of defence, spinning around is Whitty. He centres it, it was touched off the boots and off the deck. Somerville go. Nagel left without the footy. He'll be persistent with the second effort. We should have a ball up at the wing.
So at centre wing, Smith versus Roberts in the ruck. Roberts probably has a bit more experience, played in Collingwood's VFL side. He was in there in the first week of finals as well in the Mpnfl. The Collingwood have missed out. Unfortunately, got knocked out by Carlson not too long ago. So Roberts will be in this summy side for at least today. So lovely hit outs. Punterino was taken high and he'll get a free kick. Good call, umpire. So just patiently assessing his options. And then kicks it forward, looking for Hope. Could they get numbers leaking at the back? No, it's just going to go over the boundary line first. That is Karingal's first minor score of the day.
Karingal with 3 scoring shots early on, and goals to Matt Robertson and Josh Bradley. And from full back, it's Somerville with a thorough kick, but it's turned over. Dixon takes it away. Punteroni has space. He did the team thing and found Christian Matthews. 40 metres out, slide angle. He'll have a shot. As we said, similar to 2 weeks ago, Karingal straight into the action. Already 2 goals. Christian Matthews hoping to make it a third. Karingal native since he started in 2009. And he'll hope to win a premiership with them. It all starts now. It's swinging back towards goal. The flies from every angle. A free kick in the way of the Bulls. And another shot at goal will be Matt Robinson. He's elected to take it. We won't say a certainty because we know about the curse. It should be quite a simple task for Matt Robinson. This will be 2 in a row for him personally. And for 3 in a row to the Bulls to start proceedings today in the preliminary final. Matt Robinson puts it through. He made the goal umpire work, but Karingal have 3 against their name.
What a great start for Matty Robinson again. Kicked 6 last week. And now he's got 2 early on in the first. And it's going to be a struggle for Somerville today. Kane McKenzie is one of the best defenders in this competition, but missing Luke Rowe really hurts.
Yep.
Played really well on Darcy Hope during that first final. So not the ideal start for Somerville. 3-1-19 plays 0-1-1 on your Chisholm Sports Academy scoreboard. As the ball is just taken back to the centre by the umpire. Players patiently waiting. So here is Roberts, one of the star ruckmen of the competition. Only had 34 hitouts against Matthew Norton last week, but still such a good player. Whitty launches it, looking for Robinson. Oh, he's just slipped it up there and couldn't finish it. But that was a great kick forward. And now it's going to be Haskett from full back. Plays on, kicks it down the line. Has a couple Summy players open. Sharp was there, went straight to the Karingal ball though, and turns it over. In the hole is Liam Brewer. That's a interesting handball to Haskett. Oh. That's out of bounds on the full. So Summy making, or has it just hit the line? No. Is it out on? No, it's going to be a boundary throw in.
Still.
Thought it could have been out on the full there, Dill.
Some inexplicable errors early on, which is quite uncharacteristic by Somerville. And a ball up. Roberts didn't take it all himself, and he left it open for Karingal. Here's Whitty through one. Looping hand pass for Hope. And he still is denied access because the Eagles defenders held up well. And now it's a one-on-one. The Bulls with front position. McKenzie comes in from the side, but it won't matter because Pomeroy, he has it. He deposits it over to Matthews. A crunching tackle by Lachlan Williams. And Karingal will receive the free kick at centre wing. Zach Bartling seems to be holding his shoulder. We know for Somerville it's Daniel Marshall out with the shoulder injury. And he will be escorted off. And the Bulls will take the kick. At centre wing, Darcy Hope still above the square. He's calling for it. Plenty of numbers inside the forward 50 for the Bulls. But they'll just wait for Bartling to be taken off. And at the wing, they'll survey. Badham's the short option. From the side, he has Matthews. He takes it to centre half forward where Hope is. He had a launch, and at ground level, the Eagles, they can squeeze it out. They do. And it trickles past Pomeroy again, and we'll have another boundary throw in.
Ben Sedgwick, it's been huge early, and in that exact situation, got the exit out of their back 50. He's played really well so far. Matthews couldn't get in front of his opponent in Burton. So rolls over the boundary line again for another stoppage. 18.5 through this first quarter. Karingal, I think it's fair to say, they've got all the momentum at the moment. Roberts wins that hit out easily. Bradley off by hands. Now Maroney was held a little, but still somehow got through. Now Badhams just has to flick it on the boot and set it high. Oh. Hope! Came flying through. Don't blink your eyes, you'll miss that man. Alanis trying to run onto it. Slipped up a little bit. Robinson, handball didn't hit the intended target. Just trying to find a bit of fresh air. Cow. And he's kicked that one out on the full. So a couple interesting kicks early on. It's Hope. What a terrific mark. Definitely one of the better ones we've seen throughout this final series so far, Dill.
Sedgwick pumps it down the line. Roberts the main target, and he holds it above his head. Seeds it off into the path of Sharp, and they'll continue to move forward. That was if the barrier wasn't there of the Bulls' defence, which it was. Punteroni able to identify Whitty. He'll take a moment and lace out. Darts one over to Glenn, who looks laterally, has Hines, and almost affecting the spoil was McDonald. Another high up and under. Sedgwick will have to play the defensive role. Mantell saw it out of bounds. And nearly into time on. Karingal still 3 goals, 2. 20, Somerville with the one behind to their name will be tucked away in the Bulls' forward pocket. If they were to have a 4-goal start with the breeze, of course, I'd love that going into the quarter-time huddle. In the centre of the ground, strong mark taken in by the clutches, and geez, we've got a bit of a scuffle here. But Connor Leslie will be given the 50 as well, and Nick Mason holds his hands up helplessly. But Connor Leslie will have a shot from about 25 metres out. Not the usual goal kicker. Stars in rebound 50s, and he plays that defensive role to great effect. And at the moment, unusual territory, up forward, and getting on the board. And Karingal with 4 goals early. They lead it by 25, 21 minutes into this opening quarter.
Boy, love that one, did Connor Leslie, and his players just reset. Looks like Bartling is going down into the rooms. He was just I'm not sure what was wrong with him down at the centre wing, but was down on the ground for quite some time. And he has now gone into the rooms. So best of luck to Zach Bartling. The Roberts has just dominated the ruck as the whistle's blown, going in the way of Karingal. Alanis in the centre. Not going to elect to enter inside 50. Will instead kick it to half forward where Robinson can turn around. Kicks a low sort of kick. Hope was looking to turn and kick one off the side of the boot maybe, but Cedric was there first. What pressure played by the Bulls. They've been terrific so far. Sedgwick turns it over. Smith, Pomeroy. Matthews got to look out here. Bit of a risky choicing kick. High. Going against the Bulls. Eagles. The pill with Josh Young at the moment. Now out to the wing. Finds a wide open teammate in Haskett. Now Gillis has to run quick for it. And what great defensive work. Good job, Linda Saunders at half forward.
"22.5 minutes in. Somerville yet to score a major. They've had the opportunities. Another one here. Roberts. Both ruckmen had a piece of it. Roberts went again. Remains loose, and eventually we'll have another ball up. 60 out from goal. Matt Robinson leading all scorers with 2. Josh Bradley with 1. Connor Leslie with 1. And Bradley trying to get another clearance against his name. Smith does. A bit of a falcon on the head of Balin McLeod. Ball in dispute. The umpire just waiting for a moment, and there is the whistle. "23.5 minutes in. Roberts. Williams taken high, or is it a dangerous tackle? It will be high. He's a little sore here, Lachlan Williams. He won't have the journey, you wouldn't think, against the breeze. So he's just looking to see which option is the most viable. He has Mason on long. Gillis is always in the area. He takes it to Haskett, and it falls down into the path of Moroney. And neither forward can get boot to ball.
So Somerville just looks a bit more dangerous in the past couple of minutes. Haven't been rewarded on the scoreboard as of yet, but I'm sure something will come. Gillis in the tackle and misses. So unlucky for Ryan Gillis there, as Somerville yet to score a goal. Just the 2 behinds on your Chisholm Sports Academy scoreboard. And that's a turnover right back over to Somerville, and Williams, who plays on, taking risks, kicks into the pocket. Will that go to any player? No. Doesn't reach any player, goes over the boundary line first.
Yeah, they've tried every approach here, the Eagles. Bulls defense holding up extremely well. Large congregation of players, and McKenzie, the most prominent in the frame. He darts one inside, it's flat, and it's miscued over the head of Walker Swain and out of bounds, right on the arc of 50. 25 minutes in, Karingal with a 24-point lead. Plenty of pressure applied, in particular by the Bulls. Smith out to the wing. Fooled Mantell, and we've got another boundary throw in at centre wing.
So what does Somerville do? They're going against the breeze, which has made this an awfully hard task to kick on goal. But they need a response now. Smith gives it a good punch. Should go towards the boundary line, and it does. So I'd say a little bit less of a crowd this week for the prelim. Pearcedale really came out with the numbers for the semi. So traffic, heavy congestion, holding the man, go towards the Bulls. Free kick going against Sam McDonald, who played a great third quarter last week. So kicks it towards a contest. Hope put out the arms, but McKenzie defended well.
Oh, well done.
And Dixon is taken over the line there. McKenzie still wants to hold on. And now just a little push and shove there as we have another stoppage.
Yeah, McKenzie always has an influence. No matter where he is, he even moved up the ground before. Took a strong mark. Smith out of the ruck, slightly deflected. Here's McKenzie against Hope. McKenzie does enough once again. 26 and a half minutes in. Karingal with 4 goals against their name. Somerville struggling with this breeze. See what they can do here. Alanis tapping it on. Dixon, Alanis again, withstanding one. Hand pass over the top. Brewer. And they'll straddle the line to no avail. We'll have a boundary throw in about 50 out from the Bulls' goal. Roberts not in the ruck this time for the Eagles. Smith just took it by himself. Shuffled the kick forward. Too far forward. Out of bounds on the full, in fact. In the back pockets. Somerville to resume play.
So kicking it down the line are the Eagles. McDonald was there. Haskett hits the deck. He's shoved across the boundary line. As Punzaroni is given a little bit of a shove. So big ball up. Can I just say the boundary umpires have been fantastic to start off today. Haskett turns it over, sells a little bit of candy, does Whitty, and then centres it. It was a good kick, but just a little bit out of reach for his teammate, which was Mitch Glenn. Pressure is really good here from Summy. Need to keep up. Darcy Hope finds space. Lost McKenzie in the lead. And now has the opportunity to kick Karingal's 5th of the quarter. And he's played well so far, has Darcy Hope. McKenzie hasn't been too bad either. I'd say it's been a fairly even contest to start us off on Saturday afternoon footy. Whoever wins this game, may I remind you, will play Langy next week in the grand final. So Darcy Hope calmly rolls in. That is a big kick. And umpire says it just went a little off to the left for a behind.
Patrick Nagel to take it from full back for the Eagles. He carves some territory for himself and then whips it onto the right. Wybrow flew. Whitty roved up to full forward. Even numbers. Sedgwick from the side. He'll have to motor onto it this time, and he does. He flushes it out of defence into more open space. Walker Swain first to it. Gathers it under his control, and now he's blistering across the wing. The non-customary left foot comes into play. So does Nathan Gillis, the brother of Ryan, who is the main man right here. Broken up in the air by the defence. Walker Swain again. Gillis is out the back. And for the first time in a few weeks, had a chance to kick the goal in the seniors, but he's missed from point blank range, Baz.
Oh, he's about 5 metres out. That is a tough miss for Summy. Nonetheless, here we go again. Haskett stood in front, ball went straight into the hands of Nagel. And he's got a player running right into the square. Great run there. And then plays on Burton from 50 out. Sends it. Here is Gillis in the pockets. And he'll get another opportunity. Looks to play on. Oh no, he's going to centre it. Unselfish. Great job. Found Harrison Paul and the siren rings. So timely work there from Ryan Gillis, who found his teammate in Harrison Paul. Had a set shot earlier in the quarter. It was the first shot on goal for Summy for the game on a much tougher angle and a further distance, might I add. So this would do a lot for the Eagles. They had an after the siren kick on goal after the on the first quarter as well. In the first game did Summy, so we know what this does for their momentum. As Paul kicks one and the blue and gold surround him.
A big, big confidence boost there for the Eagles. They're the exact same when their time came. But at the moment, Somerville 3 goals down. And Roberts in the ruck. Straight away, they win the clearance. It's a 20-metre hand pass. And waiting for it and taking it away is Sharp, who snaps a high ball. And it's extremely wide. And it hits the windscreen. And the crowd will tell you about it.
Geez, I'd be getting awfully nervous.
Mitch Glenn, brother of Sam, played a huge game last week as well. Hope will lead and mark. Mackenzie just lets him know about it after. And Hope will take a moment. He's got a man on short and he does utilise him. Movement up forward. No man inside the forward 50 for the Bulls. Scanning ahead into the wing. Numbers are with the Eagles in the marking contest at ground level as well. But Lachlan Haskett is constrained and restrained and he can't keep it moving. And finally we'll have a ball up at centre wing far side. 1 minute in.
So just a quick stoppage here. Ruckman Roberts again. He has been huge today. Have to give it to him. Free kick going towards Karingal. I think the call was holding. So down the wing, Glenn, that is a big kick. And right back up with Summy, but Karingal do have the numbers flooding back. Umpire says bring it back here. So on the ground is Alanis, was tackled pretty heavily. He's a bit sore after, it seems. So Smale wins. Alanis brought to ground again. They've got numbers out the back, turns around on an angle. Oh, and he's ran back to get that one. Impressive work. So in the forward pocket is not Alanis, rather Seth Kelly. And he's going to go the drop punt here. Not a bad method. Could go the snap, but decides against it. So Kelly walks in. Umpire does not move, and that is another 6 for the Bulls. So now 5-3-33 plays 139 on your Chisholm Sports Academy scoreboard, and what has been a dominant performance for this Karingal Bulls side, Dylan.
Yeah, just taking advantage of all their inside 50 entries, Baz. And efficient by hand as well. And boot, of course. And they did this last quarter. Got off to a quick start. Left it for the Eagles to respond. Lockie Williams has been manned well thus far. And the ball will finally be retrieved. So that Harrison Paul goal has been negated by the Seth Kelly's set shot. And it is a 24-point lead again for Karingal. Back in the middle, Roberts with plenty of hit-outs. Needs to get one to advantage here, and does. Mason on the left. Out towards half forward, and eventually it rolls over. So Ben Sedgwick has moved up to play forward in this quarter. Versatility on display today. And we'll have another high boundary throw in. Roberts this time not in the ruck. And a free kick in the way of Karingal. They've called for a throw. And Max Smith will take it at half back. Four minutes into this second quarter. Karingal already with one goal against their name. Smith trying to invent something, but it sparks danger. Robinson had to go in head first and licked it up by hand sensibly. Had Jansen on the outside, who'll sweep on the right. And a nice spoil out of bounds by Walker Swain. We'll have a boundary throw in at centre wing.
So Robinson put his opponent in a bit of a headlock with his legs there and got away with it. So nicely done there, Robinson. Nonetheless, we're out here at centre wing. Smith in the ruck gives it a good old slap. Alanis pushing through. Whitty, how good has he been early on? Got a lot of the footy early in the first. Alanis went to grounds. Umpire calls for it. His teammates helping him up.
And around the grounds, Frankston YCW 4-1, Bond Beach 1-2, 25-8.
So we should have another stoppage here after it quickly wraps up. I think that might have been Hind there in that centre contest.
Mason back on.
It was actually Levi Dixon that was tackled there. So really contested footy. Bradley is going to be caught high. And Karingal look to move inside 50.
Bradley taking a quick moment and then hooking it inside 50. Hope. And Mackenzie, another contested mark to his name. It's a reason why he's one of the best in the competition. Mason offering instructions. Roberts out at the wing, takes it, and he has Mason on the run if he looks ahead. Instead, he moves it longer for Sedgwick at half forward, and he'll take it. He's got men on the overlap. One of them is Walker Swain, but he darts one inside, where the mark is comfortably taken. And Somerville will have a look at their second on the board. Harrison Paul, who kicked their first after the siren in the first quarter. And with Ryan Gillis as the distraction, it's moments like these for Harrison Paul. 1.7 goals a game this year. Strong source of goals. Kicked 5 against Seaford a few weeks ago, and at the moment, in the preliminary final, he's got the opening 2 for Somerville, who draw back.
And that was a great call there, Dill, with Ryan Gillis. You're right, he has proved as a distraction for Karingal. They're so focused on what that man is capable of that they've kind of ignored Harrison Paul a little bit, who has now kicked 2 goals, 1. Is having a very good afternoon up forward.
5-3 to 2-3. 7 minutes into this second quarter on the Chisholm Sports Academy scoreboard.
So here we go, Roberts versus Smith, the main matchup of today. Williams out to Mason. Found him off the snap. Entering inside 50 again. Gillis pushing forward. Gets in front of Linda Saunders. And after just coming off that broken ankle, surely that's got to hurt a little bit. But takes a strong contested mark. It was a terrific lead.
Strong as nails, Baz.
Yeah, from the kick by Mason, who lowered the eyes. It was almost a perfect drop punt. And now Somerville, looking to get the margin even closer. Ryan Gillis has kicked the 4th most goals in the competition, and that's going to go out in the full. The wind pushed it a little bit to the left there.
Yeah, he just didn't have the greatest contact off the boot. You could kind of see it, and you could see on his facial expression when he released it as well. From full back, in the pocket, Karingal, Smith with Hope, got in the way of each other, and Sharp took advantage. Got one forward, and the mark is taken in the end. They'll have another shot coming up 40 metres out, the Eagles.
The entries inside 50 for the Eagles throughout this quarter have been fantastic. We saw it from Mason just moments ago, and then once again, it's going to be Jakey Haskett taking the goal here.
Jake Haskett has had 30-plus disposals 4 times this season for the Eagles, who he's been with since 2016. And to cut it back to 12, he'll come back, but not enough. Somerville trail it by 17. 2-4 to 5-3 on the Chisholm Sports Academy scoreboard. Also brought to you by Victorian. Work safe and gamble responsibly.
So Leslie out at full back. Somerville must work on their accuracy. 2 golden opportunities missed, I must admit. Mackenzie versus Hope. It's been a great contest. Mackenzie wins again. Use the body to his advantage. Now entering inside 50 again. Gillis flies! The Mohawk in full action. He was just a blur and he looks awfully sore. And why wouldn't you be? Went up against maybe 4 other Karingal players. And now it's just going to be up to whether he can finish it off with a goal.
Same position, opposite side, Baz. Correct side for a right footer though. We'll see how he goes.
So went out of bounds on the full. Did the last set. Shot from Ryan Gillis. He's a star key forward. We expect him to make this one. Will it make it? Bending back and it doesn't go. Goes through for a minor score. So now that is 3 missed set shots for Somerville. Not what you want if you're an Eagles fan, especially after that first quarter.
Yep, it'll make you or it'll break you. And at the moment, Somerville 2 goals 5. Karingal's 5 goals 3. Leading the charge. Hind in defence. Using Linda Saunders as an acquaintance, and his kick filled with danger, bashed up in the air, but they clean it up and out to the wing. Roberts will stand underneath. Hope will come from the side. Roberts with hands to it, and his Rovers also did have hands. McMahon. Muffled ball taken by Moroney, who claims that Josh Bradley was a little far forward on the mark than he should have been, but it didn't matter. Wandering ball forward, and it should be all Karingal over the head of Smith. Taken away by Mitch Glenn, and he's able to share it across to the wing. McLeod, hand pass, and another kick up the wing. Seth Kelly, 1 goal against his name on the fast break. Hope, back with the fly, stuck out a paw. Mackenzie kept his footing, and now he's been corralled by multiple bulls, and he tumbles one, still in defence. Filled with danger, there's balls from every angle, but Haskett might put a stop to it. Another dangerous hand pass. Wrapped up is Lachlan Haskett. And we'll have a ball up on the wing. Well defended by Somerville, but then just putting their teammates under unnecessary pressure. Roberts. McMahon. Coming through was McDonald. And Mason off the boot, it was smothered. Here's McDonald again. And it'll just elude the ball and go out of bounds. We'll have another boundary throw in.
I think it's fair to say that Mackenzie has definitely outplayed Hope throughout this quarter. Been a couple occasions now where he's just absolutely worn him like a glove. So credit to Mackenzie. Hope hasn't played a terrible game though. Has definitely been lively. So we have a boundary throw in. So ball's released. Smith couldn't win the ruck contest. Bradley goes to ground. He's instantly pressured by the tackle from Williams. Now here is Roberts. No one hit it out properly. Williams gets it out. Just a little check side. Another mark taken inside 50 for the Eagles. So will Haskett go for this, or will he go the unselfish option? Told to play on. Off the right, and the wind's going to bring that back over to the left. So it is Somerville's accuracy that is killing them at the moment. They have definitely been the better side throughout this quarter, but they must kick straight. The wind is causing a little bit of trouble for this Eagles side.
A rigorous kick from full back. And taking it with confidence. The Bulls in defence. Balin McLeod, and he turns it over. Moroney attacked it with pace and confidence, and he has a plea from Mason up forward. He gave it to Nagel instead. Mason's still in the area. Big set of knuckles coming from the Bulls' defence. Paul with 2 goals against his name. Short, dainty kick cut off by Cowell, who was wrapped up by multiple Eagles. And Nick Mason, as soon as the whistle blew, he pounced on the ball. But Somerville's opportunity is still there for the taking. Smith knocks it down. Gillis lunges at the footy and takes his opponent high. Alanis. Whitty. That's Hind just next to him. Instead, the halfback uses his teammate as a reference. Mitch Glenn calling for it. A lot of shifting and drifting up forward, especially to the wing. Corey Badams, Max Smith, probably the main target here. Through his fingertips, Sedgwick making his claim to take the footy. And instead, the Eagles off the runway enter their forward 50 with a high ball. Mitch Glenn probably could have taken the mark. And if it was a goal, he would have wished that he could have. Instead, Somerville's inaccuracy continues to haunt them, and from full back, they trail by 14.
So, here come the Bulls. It's Leslie who kicks it towards the wing. Mackenzie's going to get there first. Red and white coming towards them, though. Still another inside 50 entry. Gillis looking to get there again. Leslie, filled the hole in the back, and yeah, that was not the greatest of handballs, but I just want to say Mitch Glenn had two opportunities on two plays back-to-back to mark the footy and didn't go for it. So Karingal, the defense has been a little bit lackluster, you might say, throughout the past maybe 7 minutes or so. It's going to go over the boundary line again. Right on half forward for the Somerville Eagles.
15 and a half minutes through this second quarter. Even numbers at the contest. And now they'll separate up to the wing. McLeod has had plenty of it today. Alanis came by for the hand pass, but instead he'll look to create and generate something off halfback, and he does. He tantalised his opponents. Unfortunately, it was an errant kick, and Haskett was parked there at halfback. He'll switch play through the middle. Mason and Mackenzie are both there. Mackenzie with some extra run, but he didn't want the footy. Instead, Gillis did, of the Nathan variety. It still remains ajar. Cowell collects it at his feet. Paul applying pressure, but releasing it was Hind up to the wing. Callie. And now Haskett. Mackenzie turning back into play. Speeds past one, used his teammate, provided the protection, and Somerville can it get on the board, and they do. Their third of the day, and they close within 8. It's 3-7 to 5-3 on your Chisholm Sports Academy scoreboard. What an effort, end-to-end football, Baz.
That was much better from the Summy Eagles, and I think at the end of this day, what this game's going to be about is who can capitalise on turnovers the most. Both teams throughout this second quarter have kicked it to the opposition quite a lot of times, but Somerville are the ones who have just been able to get those repeat inside 50 entries. So they've definitely been the better side of this second quarter. It's now only 8 points the difference in what is shaping up to be an intense preliminary final. Winner gets into the grand final. Bradley kicks it. Here is Whitty, who turns his body around and kicks on the right. Alanis was running for it. Sorry, it was rather Kelly, who spins. Mackenzie gets to him first. Hunted him perfectly. Burton tries to lay a don't argue. Got it successfully. Sedgwick was there. Was ignored as the option, though. Dixon soccers it forward. Goes as far as Mackenzie. They're just trying to get it out effectively. Two players fighting. And it was, I think it was either Dixon or Kelly who did mark it, but the mark wasn't paid.
Quick around the ground score check brought to you by Tackle Your Feelings. Frankston YCW lead Bond Beach by 13 points at Rosebud.
Thanks, Dill. Holding the man is the call. Bradley, who's had a lot of the footy to start off. Yep. He's half. Kicks it to a 2-on-1. No mark taken. McLeod trying to get through, and he's taken nice tackle.
Make it 7. Bond Beach have just kicked another. Tight games everywhere you look on the Mornington Peninsula side. In the ruck, Smale. Alanis taking it away. Callie, who's got the one goal as well. Robinson slipped to ground, absorbed the pressure. Whitty attacked it. All locked away. We'll have a ball up inside the Bulls forward 50. 5-3 to 3-7. Somerville outscoring Karingal this quarter. Glenn loitering Sedgwick. Watched it bounce out of bounds. Only 19 minutes into this second quarter. The opening quarter was about 30 minutes. Have to get a handle on the footy here, do the Bulls. Just need one to create that separation on the scoreboard. Smale and Badams. Here we go. A gaping hole open for him, but he's missed off to the right. And the margin now at 9.
So 5-4-34 for Karingal to Somerville's 3-7-25 on your Chisholm Sports Academy scoreboard. Haskett came flying through with a fist. Both players down. I think there may have been a little bit of contact there, head to head. I'm not sure. Bradley enters inside 50. Got a couple numbers. McLeod lurking. Didn't get to it first. Now here is Glenn. Dribbles it forward. Hope, can he turn around? No, he lost it. McLeod still pushing through. He sock it. Oh, it's hit the post. So awfully close to another goal there. And just for Div 1, YCW leading Bomb Beach by a point, 27-26 in that contest in Div 1. Exiting the back 50 are the Eagles. Roberts was taken high. Somerville fans awfully happy about that call, Dill.
And Roberts stands at left half back over at Rosebud. Trent Dennis Lane on the board. At the moment, it's Karingal by 10 here. Gillis nudged out of it a little too easily in the end. Linda Saunders. He'll take off. Gillis looked to be ferocious there. Maybe affected the kick, and now some back chatter. And now they take off. Had some room to manoeuvre up to half forward. Gillis waits for it to sit on its end. And then he might have played for the free kick, but still shoveled the hand pass out. For McDonald, a full forward, a one-on-one. And coming off second best was Nathan Gillis. And it's out of bounds. He's just holding his neck region. A little slow to get up. But he is on his feet now. The goal here would bring them as close as they have been since the opening minutes. Sharp takes it out of the ruck and let it dribble off every part of his body. Mason and Bradley momentarily stunned in the tackle. 21 and a half minutes in. Of course, all this brought to you by Pro Finish Roof Plumbing. Karingal by 10, but at the moment, they have to withstand this offensive attack. Mason hanging off of his opponent, who got the kick out of defence, and Glenn took the mark over Ryan McMahon. And at half-back he sits and he'll monitor ahead for a moment before turning onto his trusty left boot. Hope. Out of everyone's reach and out of bounds.
So after what was probably a dominant Somerville start, become a bit more even the last 5 or so. Karingal got a couple inside 50s to show and tell as Mason goes running for the footy, beat his opponent in Glenn, then enters inside 50. Gillis couldn't get there first, but here, oh, what a tackle! Lachlan Linda Saunders take a bow. Gillis has been absolutely pummeled into the dirt. Fantastic. Hind plays on, wants to go Smale. The winds brought it back a little bit, and Haskett cleverly tapped it before it went out of bounds. But I was preparing myself to call a Ryan Gillis goal then, and Lachlan Linda Saunders, who was defending him pretty well all day, came flying through. Excellent work. A great punch there from Punteroni. It goes out of bounds once again.
Karingal by 10, 23 and a half minutes in. Second quarter, whoever wins will face Langwarrin in the grand final next Saturday at Skybus Stadium. Roberts with a major piece of it. Whitty caught up in the heat by Haskett. Some back chatter, so they both regather their feet. The ruckmen are both waiting for the ball to be thrown up. And it will be now. 70 out from the Eagles' goal. Roberts to the advantage of his teammates. Alanis dispossessed. Punteroni had first bite. Bradley lost his footing and the ball in the end, but he still allowed Alanis to gain access. And then he was escorted out of bounds, and they all attack McDonald.
Fair enough from Karingal there. That was just unnecessary. The push on Alanis there.
So Mason and Dixon caught up in the scuffle, and we've got a free kick in the way of the Bulls against Wybrow. And he can't let this happen. It's all a mind game. And Wybrow got sucked into it. The Bulls now, through Bradley, can head forward, and they do. Punteroni, interesting choice in the pocket for Hope, and tried to take the mark, and he's paid it. His first real great look at a goal today. Kane McKenzie, he knows that he's defended well, but at the moment, a goal here definitely hurt. It'd give Karingal the 16-point advantage, and it's Darcy Hope from the pocket. We haven't had a goal for quite some time. It'll stay that way. And Karingal by 11 on the Chisholm Sports Academy scoreboard.
So kicking it out from full-back is Patrick Nagel. Decides to go to his right. Oh no, he's lost the footy. He's got to be careful here. And great evasive work. Redeemed himself. Hit his man right in the chest. Well done, Nagel. So lost the footing a bit under the ground, and it's a turnover. Leslie, who's played a good game down back today, takes a mark. Almost uncontested. So Punteroni desperately wanted it and eventually got it. So probably going to run a switch here, the Bulls, you'd think. Linda Saunders, who laid that fantastic tackle on Gillis moments ago. That kick wasn't so good. Hine just has to dribble it forward. We're going to have another contest build up here, you'd think. Alanis, so creative. Spun. Mason ended up with the pill eventually for a great kick. And mark to be taken. Lachlan Williams led out at the footy, and Mason, that is two great inside 50 entries he's had now. Been one of the best kicks on the field today in these windy conditions. And now Williams can line up. I believe this would be for his first. From about 40 out. Somerville like that. It is now only 5 points, less than a goal. And we have got a game on our hands still.
Definitely do. 3 in a row for the Eagles. Karingal have not scored a goal since Seth Kelly in the opening minutes. And that's been at least 26 minutes. Harrison Paul started off the run. Jack Maroney with a running goal, and Lachlan Williams from a set shot. And it's a 5-point game, even though all the momentum early seemed to be with the Bulls. Scoreboard pressure, of course, is the best pressure. Brewer. And now's their chance. Kelly sweeping it up, turning on the left, had a man hanging off him, but he still was able to deliver inside 50. And the mark is taken, and now they'll have a set shot to finally score.
Certainly been a while for Karingal. Somerville have most definitely had the momentum throughout this game, throughout this second quarter, I should say.
Matt Robinson with 6 goals last week, 2 goals already. Knows how to stand out in a final series. And with the last 3 goals against Somerville, he knows that he just needs to steady the ship here. Sedgwick on the mark, but he gets good purchase on it. Great contact, and in the end, the finish was probably the easiest part for him.
It's a great kick of the footy. Is Matty Robinson, an even better kick on goal. Rarely misses. And he'd only played, I think it was 4 games in the home and away season, but he's came back in the finals, and he has been simply brilliant. Especially with the absence of Riley D'Arcy, has definitely filled his shoes. It's now back up to 9 for the Karingal Bulls. It's kicked out by Glenn. Goes straight into the middle towards a pack. Umpire calls for the footy back. 29 minutes in. Siren is probably set to go any minute now. So Smith, a rare win in the ruck contest against Roberts. Smothered was the kick from Scott Jansen. First time we've called his name today. The seconds tick down. Nearly half an hour this second quarter has lasted. And there goes the siren. So Somerville won that quarter. A little bit of work to do for Karingal, but an excellent finish from the hands of Matt Robinson.
Back is Mitch Mantell, of course, without Luke Rowe, due to concussion, and in the middle, it'll be Max Smith v Thomas Roberts. Roberts spiking it forward, and then it fell back into the congestion, and we'll have a ball up. Darcy Hope yet to move off half forward. Wonder what the tactics are surrounding him in this half. Playing for their season and for a spot in the grand final. Another ferocious tackle by Luke Burton, who's back in the side today for the first time. Of course, Ryan Gillis is back in. No Tom Beckett, no Brendan Head. And without Luke Rowe, as the ball tumbles to centre half forward, and a free kick will go the way of Scott Jansen. Centre half back. And he looks ahead, has plenty of options. It bounced on the ground before the ball was able to get control. Alanis burrowing through. And we'll have a stoppage at right half forward. 50 out from Karingal's goal. 1 minute into this third quarter.
So down at Karingal's end at the moment, Roberts won that hit out fairly easily. It's going to be brought back to ground after Jansen was tackled by Luke Burton. So here we are again. Roberts getting another hit out to his name. He's had a big day out as per usual. Bradley enters inside 50 with a long kick. Turns around, couldn't get the snap. Here comes Robinson in the pocket. Will he be unselfish? Yeah, he's going to go and try centre it. No mark taken. Hope was tapping around. McKenzie, Smale. Turned it over. Kelly from the pocket. Oh, he's done it! From the pocket, are you joking, Seth Kelly? That is one of the best goals we've got today to showcase you, and from an incredibly tough angle, Seth Kelly has completed the impossible. It is now up to 17 points. What a goal, Kelly.
Well called, Baz. What an effort from Seth Kelly. It's his second for the day, and a 17-point lead for Karingal now. And another whistle. Downfield free kick, or free kick in the middle for Thomas Roberts. And Somerville's opening entry of the quarter will be a long ball into the 50. Attacking it multiple plays, fortuitously into the lap of the Karingal defender, Christian Matthews. It springs around and then it's ejected out of defence. A 1-on-2. Sam Glenn still able to pick it up cleanly. And now he turns, looks for Hope, and he does take the mark with brute strength. They hit him at about 1,000 miles an hour, and McKenzie has allowed another contested mark against his name, but Darcy Hope yet to kick a goal. Surprising, considering there is no Riley D'Arcy, and they have 7 collectively as a team, but here is his moments. 1 goal early on through Seth Kelly, and potentially a second through Darcy Hope. Karingal by 23 in the opening stages of the third quarter.
What an excellent start by the Bulls. If you're a Karingal fan, you'd be dreaming for a start like this in the third, and it's come true. Somerville just looks stunned, getting smashed around the contested footy, and I've been rather impressed. Umpire approaching the middle of the square, ready to start. Once again, Smith versus Roberts in the ruck. Here we go. Karingal, 2 quick ones to start off the third term. Alanis was pushed to the ground. Smith just sends a high one, looking for any mark possible. Kelly, who kicked a great goal just moments ago, was trying to get a hold of it. Now Alanis missed it and picked it back up as the tackle was laid into him, the captain. Ready to go again. Roberts hit out to Whitty. Wybrow is laid out. Now Alanis is getting the bit of the footy early on in this third term. We'll have another stoppage. Once again, a couple in succession. Smith won it this time. What a great tackle laid. McMahon to Maroney. They're going to pay it. They will. He has absolutely sent him into the ground, and you'd be holding the ribs after that. Josh Bradley has decimated his opponent.
It was Sam Glenn.
It was Sam Glenn. I thought I saw Bradley with the footy there, but no, it was Sam Glenn. And now Glenn has a chance to make it 3 in 5 minutes. This would be a disastrous result for the Somerville Football Club and their chances of making a grand final. Glenn, calm as ever. Set shot is good. Is rewarded after one of the best tackles we've seen today. And the kick is so ever straight. So scoreboard now reads 9-6-60 to 4-7-31 on your Chisholm Sports Academy scoreboard. Karingal now lead this contest by a total of 29 points in the prelim.
3 goals in the opening 6 minutes of this third quarter. Roberts with a twirl and swirling the head out forward. Somerville's chance is cut off. Pomeroy in the defensive end. Out to the wing. Nagel. Confidence infused, up to half forward. Sedgwick swiped away from behind. Sedgwick has Haskett as support, but the opponents get the better of them. Bradley, here is Sedgwick, hoisting a high ball. Laterally, Mason. Ball had to conduct itself. It didn't, at least appropriately for the Eagles. And the Bulls only went for their opponents. And now barging through, Connor Leslie in defence, but also has a goal to his name, unusually. We'll have a stoppage 40 metres out as the wind continues to wreak havoc at RJ Rowley Reserve. Williams, Mason, Pomeroy, Mason again, regathering himself. But the Bulls are prepared. Out to the wing, Roberts has to be. Leaped up in the air, did the ball. And now the numbers sit with the Bulls. Cleaning it up. Up to half forward, they go. McLeod, via hand. Pomeroy, inside 50 rather, Punteroni, and now Robinson.
Robinson now looking for number 4. It's been by far the best key forward up for the Bulls and on the ground all day.
As we mentioned last week, only played 4 games in the regular season, did Matt Robinson. Such an important part of this Bulls side. A big name down forward, and Karingal are off to a hot start in this third quarter, and it would have been hotter if he were to convert there, but a 30-point margin for the Bulls, 9-7 to 4-7. Chisholm Sports Academy scoreboard.
So here is Paddy Nagel at full back. They need to be really creative here, the Eagles. McKenzie looking to go up and take the contested mark. Couldn't. Roberts was ripped of it. Bradley was taken a little high. Now Nagel evades one in Darcy Hope and then kicks it down the line to a contest. Sharp going against Cow. Neither won that possession though. We're going to have a stoppage. Centre wing. 3:30 at Rye. Saturday afternoon. Beautiful day. Where would you rather be? Roberts taps it out to the back of the pack. Bradley running for it. Punteroni Almost got a clean possession. Now Haskett, is that going to go out in the full? It will. Didn't hit his opponent in the chest in time. That's a costly turnover.
9 minutes into this third quarter. 3-1 for Karingal. Somerville yet to score. And now a band at the wing. Well, they all separated because underneath it, Mpnfl holding his own in the back line. Found Burton in some space. There's plenty of options. Gillis is always lurking up forward. He sends it into the pocket where the mark was dropped by Sharp. It stayed alive. And the Bulls with a wide kick. It'll come back through the agency of Kane McKenzie. McKenzie chips one over the head of Roberts. And it was a perilous kick because the Bulls have the numbers up forward. Robinson takes the mark. And here they are. Glenn streaming forward. He might just take it all the way. Glenn can either shepherd it through or wait for the ball, and running into the post. Full head of steam, Liam Brewer. Did what he had to do. Sam McDonald will take it from full back. And now they have a multitude of players on this close side. Big rise and a big mark. Mpnfl marking prowess on display. McKenzie just communicating in his ear. Gillis with 2 to contend with. One of the more significant was Glenn, and he's able to punch it out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throw in at centre wing.
Somerville must attack. I cannot stress that enough. 30 down in a preliminary final. And we'll have another boundary throw in. But yeah, 31 points down are the Somerville Eagles. They've just looked rather unimpressive moving forward. They need to act right away. Thrown in, Roberts, an impressive punch. Matthews got to it first though. Pomeroy gave it off and turnover right back, so they're going to enter inside 50 again, the Eagles. No mark taken. Players crowding around the ball. Hines was just a stronger player in the end. Now Smith has to take this mark for the Bulls, but he won't. Waiting patiently was Leslie, who's been one of the better players there. Now Alanis versus Wybrow on the wing. Wybrow stood up, and an even later tackle. That was a bit better from Somerville.
50 out from goal. Karingal double the score of Somerville at the moment. Smith in the ruck contest. Dixon saw the ball for a moment. Will again. But it's hacked forward for the Eagles. Harrison Ball, who's kicked 2, is engulfed by the tackle. And 40 metres out we sit. 3 goals in the first 6 minutes of this quarter, and in the next 6, no majors as of yet for either side. Plenty of longitude experienced in the tackle, which came from the Bulls' defence. Yeah, and we'll have a throw up at the same place. Seth Kelly, Darcy Hope, Sam Glenn all scoring in this term for the Bulls. Slung to the ground. A dangerous tackle has been called. And Somerville, their opportunity reveals itself. A set shot coming up shortly. 30 metres out. Lachlan Sharp looks to be the man fetching the footy to take the free kick. Must convert here. Has not had a game ending with 1 goal, has Lachlan Sharp. When he's kicked them, he's only had 2, 3 or 4. Averaging over 1 a game. Had 22 goals from his 16 regular season games. But right now in the final, he needs to cut this margin back. He's missed it to the near side. And Somerville's still staring at a 30-point hole.
So Somerville are really in strife here. The mascot tried to kick it with his wings there and hit no player. But no, we'll ignore it. We love the mascot duties here. Whitty to Leslie. Then handballs over to Hind, who loves to go for a run, but decides to give it off, looking for hope. McKenzie used his body to push himself back, and then he's tackled. Karingal might be out here. Bradley by hands, now looking for Robinson. Down forward, no, he was defended well by Young. And a free kick is actually going to be paid in the way of Young as well. So even better for Somerville.
Yeah, it was either that or out on the full bass. Somerville from full back. Out to the wing, a large pack of players. Hope. He's ready to repel. And a 50-metre penalty has been paid. Just having a look at who it was against, but it's all boiling over for the Eagles. And Darcy Hope, who has one against his name, should make it a second. They have this grand final appearance within their grasp. To the Bulls. And Darcy Hope. Riley D'Arcy absent, but Darcy Hope is still here. Kicking points. He's missed off to the left. But Karingal still hold that 31-point lead.
So not the greatest of misses by Darcy Hope there. But nonetheless, we're probably about halfway through this third term. Nagel decides to go out to the wing, to his left. No mark taken by either club. And it's going to go to the grounds. I think it was Badams under the ball there. No, he was on top. I think it might have been Alanis at the bottom of the pack. You can usually find him there. Always hunting for that contested footy. Kicked out in front of him, did the Somerville player. Now they've got numbers here. Just need to be a bit cleaner. McLeod got to it, but was wrapped up in a tackle. There should be another stoppage here. Umpire still calling play on, and eventually it's dead. Seth Kelly was the one who was pressured there. Smale versus Roberts. Smale wins. Falcon to Mason's face. Nice little fake there from Gillis. Now they're pushing forward. Sedgwick has to read this properly. Got out to Maroney, who was instantly tackled by a bull. And now they're out again. Badams hits Alanis right in the chest and then finds Robinson. End-to-end footy, so clean and so efficient. And if you're Somerville, you just watch in despair.
They've stifled them this quarter. Have Karingal.
Just, they cannot move the footy effectively, can the Eagles. Karingal's pressure around the contested ball has been outstanding. And now Robinson is going for his fourth. Had 6 last week. If he makes this, it's 10 in 2 weeks. That is outstanding. Robinson! Set shot is accurate again! He's kicked for the big fella. The new Riley D'Arcy, who will not see any finals action. He was actually suspended after the Somerville Karingal game just 2 weeks ago, but has Matt Robinson stepped up for this club?
Four unanswered goals this quarter for the Bulls. And over at Rosebud, it's Frankston YCW by 7 points. And Gillis will receive this free kick. So Roberts heads back to create a target. Gillis comes from the side. Here he is, over his head. And it still stays in play for them. Gillis now just chiseling one inside. And he finds the targets. And the Eagles desperately need to kick this.
Similar shot to the Lachlan Sharp set shot before, Dill.
Yep, we know what that resulted in. Have to kick this goal. 37 points behind in a preliminary final. But this goal could be the start of a comeback. Again, it's another behind off to the left. So that margin at 36 points.
And They came back down from 50 points last week against Langwarrin. Did lose that game, of course, by 12. Well, they got it to as close as 12. They didn't lose by 12, but they came surging back, so we know what they're capable of. Badhams, what a great mark, and an even better kick from back 50. He then hits Glenn, who plays on, turns around, looking for Robinson again, who uses the body, who's absolutely dominated Joshua Young there, and he's now looking for 5. Robinson has just been a powerhouse down 4 today. In my opinion, has easily been best on ground, without a doubt.
One of, for sure.
I think Mackenzie could be in the conversation as well for Somerville, but Robinson has just been unstoppable. Maybe they get Mackenzie on him after this one, if he is to make it. Robinson for 5. And no, he's missed the lot there, out of bounds on the full. So Somerville, once again, they're going to have another opportunity to try go from coast to coast and kick a major.
Which they have done today. But 4 goals. Only 4 goals to their name, and 3 of which came in the second quarter. Yet to kick one here. Mason. And obstructing the field of play and defence, Mitch Glenn. We'll have a boundary throw in about 70 out from goal. We'll get some news on Dale Alanis in a moment. But keeping the footy in front of himself is Oscar Whitty. And he still has it again. He's ready to duck back in. Has Glenn. It's taken away. Maroney wedged in between a couple of balls. And it's a throw. But Dale Alanis, we have been told, was writhing in pain with his leg. He's gone out the gates and he can't come back in. So a major loss for Karingal, not only this week, but if they are to advance in the grand final as Hope leapt up, but soaring on through to take the crumbs. Robinson, and he was stripped of it. It'll be the Eagles' ball from half back. Maroney ready to expedite movement. They have to, the Eagles. 21 and a half minutes into this third quarter. Pedaling across the wing. Hurling it to half forward. Gillis created the separation and took the mark. And now he plays on from a standing start up to the full forward position where the other mark is taken. And the Eagles closer and closer to goal. Will have their chance to kick their first of the quarter. Lachlan Williams, 29 disposals, 3 goals last week. They need that type of output from him in the last part of this quarter and the fourth. 1 against his name, make it 2. Could be the start of something. They all crowd around him and that margin is now 30.
So just coming back with a report at the moment, Dale Alanis, number 21, the man who kicks the winner that sent Karingal into this game we're watching today against Pearcedale last week. He went off the field but not through the gate, so he can't actually come back onto the ground. He went to the bench and is apparently dealing with a lot of pain. Apparently it's a lower leg, and he told his teammates and the bench and coaching staff that he's done. So I don't think we're going to see, or not, I don't think we're not going to see Dale Alanis at all today. It's going to be interesting to see whether we'll see him or not next week, depending if Karingal win. Nonetheless, running onto it is Whitty, pushing through the traffic, eventually regain his composure, looking to enter inside 50, and finds his man in Smale, who's done a little bit of ruck work today. He's primarily been down 4th though, and he's hasn't had a Matt Robinson type of performance, but he has certainly been helpful down there as a third tall of sorts. You've got Hope, Robinson and Smale, so directly in front, you'd say about 45 out. Looks straight, it is! Karingal now lead by 36. And time is ticking fast for Somerville. They must act. They've got to kick 7 to get in front. That is an awfully tough task.
Not impossible, but not probable for the Eagles. And it's been a devastating wave of Bulls clearances and attacks. 5 goals to 1 in this quarter. The instantaneous response as well. Roberts in the ruck. McMahon sharked it across. Wybrow. Hand passing to open space, and then taking it away was Haskett. He's looking to produce something. Gillis has the lead. He rose, maybe a bit of an arm chop, and then coming in from the side with a menacing tackle, but not being rewarded for it was his Eagle teammate. 25 minutes in to this third quarter. Karingal by 6 straight kicks. Through McMahon's fingertips, out the back hatch, and then lofted forward. Plenty of altitude. Gillis again. It's been a day of almost for him. And they discharge it from their defensive line to the wing. Wybrow may have been intimidated by his opponents coming the other way. McLeod and Kelly. He's got 2 already against his name. He plays on, swirls inside 50. Hope! It's not difficult to see why he's one of the league's best goal kickers. When you can take marks like that, all you have to do is execute the kick, and we know his aptitude when it comes to kicking goals. And Karingal are 36 points up in the preliminary final. And Darcy Hope making it 42. It's getting away from the Eagles now.
Yeah, 42 points. That is an awfully tough margin to come back from. We saw them come back a little bit from an even bigger margin against Langwarrin last week, but they still couldn't get that one.
Not this late in the game, though, Baz.
Yeah, they came back a lot earlier. And it's just been about poor starts for Somerville throughout this final series that has gotten them into a bit of trouble.
In Division 1, YCW 8-4-52, Bond Beach 6-3-39.
So YCW winning that one. Roberts used his strength to get over the top. Bradley was almost called for ball there. Dixon trying to get through. So once again, another contest. Bradley, he's been great today, hasn't he? Paul entering inside 50 for Somerville. No mark taken. Leslie. It's going to be late in a tackle instantly. Just on the arc of the 50-metre line for the Eagles. Need Gillis to step up. I don't think he's on the ground at the moment, though. So ball pushing forwards. Are they out here? Somerville play on, says the umpire. Trying to push through. That's got to be holding the ball. No, it's play on. Pushing out towards the wing. Kelly trying to get in front of Paul. Glenn taps it to his advantage and then slows down a little bit. There should be a stoppage here out on the far side of the wing. And I think Kyle Pover, our stream manager, has just said that it looks like a calf on Dale Alanis.
Got the ice on the calf. That's him done for the day. Lower leg. As they edge it forward to Karingal. Paul across half back and through the middle they go. Space ahead of Haskett. He delivers inside 50. The defence, as it has been all day, holds up one more time. It's a brutal barricade that you just cannot pass. And it's Connor Leslie. We put Pomeroy under immediate pressure. Watch out from behind. Mason thrusting himself at his opponent. Gets the reward, and now he's not sure what to do. Has some agility. And gets it deep, engaging with potentially Gillis. Here he is entering the frame. And out of defence, it's Smale, and it's Pomeroy, and it's the Bulls at half-back with a 42-point lead. 28.5 minutes into this third quarter. They've kicked 6 goals to 1. And Somerville unsure what to do. He'll revise his decision for the moment off half-back and then chip it on short from Scott Jansen. Mason's still on the mark. Jansen stretching it up towards the wing. Hope outnumbered, and Mackenzie takes the mark, and they can move forward with pace, and they do. A hand pass from Burton over to Haskett. It's opening up for him at the moment. He takes the unselfish option to put it out in front of his teammates, and taken high in defence was Lachlan Hind, and it's their ball.
It's just a little bit wasteful. Haskett could have gone for it, but did go on the unselfish option. Didn't work to his advantage, though. Big kick down the line and instantly goes out of bounds. So, siren should be going very soon. Approaching the 30-minute mark of the third term. The far side of the wing, as I mentioned before, Smale hits it behind him. And there goes the siren to finish the third term. 42 points the difference in what has been.
For the Eagles, 42 points down. What can they muster? Roberts against Smith in the ruck, as they have been doing all day. Williams saw it for a moment and keeping tabs on each other right in the middle in the contest. The umpire will have to call the ball up. Seen it happen quite a few times today out of the centre. Neither side yet to have an obvious clearance. We might have it again. Trying to dig it out are the Bulls, especially with the sand there. Doesn't amount to anything, and Jansen stands up with the footy in his hands. Roberts with the punch forward. Hines stops it in its tracks. Down to ground, Brewer. We'll have another ball up. So in the opening 50 seconds, the ball has moved within a proximity of about 10 metres. We'll see where it goes again. Roberts. And there is Bradley Say. Slaps it forward. He might just open up the ground. McMahon through the centre. Helping himself is the Bull midfielder. And now they have it. Paul dictating play. Onto the right, dispersing inside 50, off the chest of his forward target. Slipping to ground was Glenn, and they all pile on top of him. Finally, we have an inside 50 entry. It's still Karingal by 42 points.
So in the ruck is Jesse Walker-Swain. Hasn't been in there once today. First appearance in the ruck. That's actually, I think, one of the first times we've called him his name all day. And a quick stoppage. Once again, it's going to be Smith versus that man in Walker-Swain again. Didn't even hit it out, just caught it. McMahon of the Josh variety centres it. And there is Lachlan Linda Saunders. Filling the hole. He's been a great defender today. He's held Ryan Gillis quite accountable, he has. And now Kane McKenzie at the boundary line. Has to dish off by hands to Roberts. And he's brought over the boundary line is Jack Maroney.
Centre wing. Throw in. This time Roberts back in the ruck. Down to Burton. And down to ground level again. Bobbling around through multiple pairs of hands and still staying in play. Karingal first to it. Again, Burton. Now Mason may have played for the free kick and did receive it. He's still at centre wing. Max Smith slow to get up on the mark. Mason can spy a couple of men loose. It's over that of Walker-Swain. And out of bounds for a boundary throw in. 3 minutes into this last quarter. Time disappearing for the Eagles. 7 goals to tie it. Walker-Swain hits it out. Hines storming on through and taken high by Josh McMahon. And Hines in full stride. Gives it plenty up the wing. It hangs up in the air. Hope camped underneath. Wybrow was waiting for the crumbs, and eventually he takes Bradley out of bounds for another boundary throw in at the same place it was before.
To your left of screen, there's this sea of red and white fans. They'd be loving life at the moment. Sitting in a final with 42-point lead in a prelim. Mason just swings it inside 50. Good defensive effort from Cal. And it goes over the boundary line. They want out on the full. But it's not going to be paid. We'll have another boundary throw in. But Karingal, their second half performance so far has just been so dominant. Here we go again. Walker Swain still in the ruck. Smith, the taller and larger body, trying to push through his Gillis. No holding the ball. Off to Mason, who turns around, dishes it off by hands. They're in trouble here, the Eagles. Williams is put in the tackle by Christian Matthews. And we've come a bit further away from the goals for Somerville now. If they want to win this game, they need to score with the inside 50 entry they've got at the moment. They cannot allow Karingal to exit once again. They do not have the time. Simple as that. Punched over the back by Mantell. Got possession once again to the Bulls. Glenn slipped over, regained his balance. It's going to be a turnover right over to Burton.
Burton inside 50 from all angles. They misread the footy. In particular, Josh McMahon. Hind with a strong aerial presence out to the wing. Callie Wybrow. Front position. Plenty of men on short. One of which is Lachlan Williams. 2 goals today. He'll go further afield than Mason to the outnumber in favour of the Bulls. It's still there for the taking. Haskett with a bit of a faulty hand pass. And out of defence they dash. Mitch Glenn teeing it up for his teammates to take it, but they don't. And it'll be a throw. And everything is just falling the Bulls' way at the moment. To the wing. Contemplating where exactly to kick. There's only 2 men inside their forward 50, and it's Hope and McKenzie, as they have been matched up all day, and they'll have to be prepared here because Pomeroy's got the run. Hope has the lead. Also has front position and a teammate of support, but McKenzie beautifully worked. And he'll still continue to run. Mason, you can just see he's out of energy, but it didn't prevent him from laying the tackle. Instead, it's a push in the back, and the Bulls will have it just ahead of halfback.
So just waiting for Mason to get off him. Eventually plays on. So here is Travis Punteroni on the wing. A clean kick over to Sam Glenn, who then lifts off with a kick. Darcy Hope couldn't read it properly. Now here's Harrison Paul. He's kicked a couple earlier on in the game today. And Nathan Gillis led out strongly. Turns around and runs off the mark, looking for anyone leading out. No, not quite. McMahon didn't get there in time. Now Mason snaps it around the body and misses. And it's just been Somerville's inaccuracy today. Karingal sitting at 12-9-81, but Somerville 5-10-40. That's on your Chisholm Sports Academy scoreboard. Just the accuracy has killed them all day. Here is Leslie. He's played a great game today, Leslie, I might add. Off playing in the back pocket area. Lachlan Linda Saunders to Pomeroy in the middle. Told to play on. Jeez, I thought that was a bit stiff. And then Glenn, he takes a contested mark. McMahon wasn't quick enough. And then he runs off his mark. Kick was a little high for his man in Jordan Smale. Going out towards the boundary line, and an intercept mark's going to be taken there, Dill.
Somerville now. Mason crashed the pack. Gillis punched it forward, and there was only 1 man deep for Somerville, who still might get to the footy. Pounces on it, turns around. Gillis comes by, but Mantell is dragged down to the ground. He's handcuffed, and now the Bulls are away. It's Hind. He indulges in 1 bounce. Lifts it to half forward. And attacking with pace, but not taking the mark, was the Bull forward. Dangerous hand pass from Sedgwick. Dixon from the side. High floating kick hovering through the air. Smith almost had the mark paid, but spilt at the last second, and to the wing the Bulls go. Balin McLeod hasn't played too many senior games this year. He's played well today. Numbers with the Eagles at ground level, but Bradley's still fighting as hard as he can. And McLeod just waiting, assembled underneath it. His teammate Mitch Glenn calling for him to retreat, but he fakes out the man on the mark and floats one into the 50, and Hope has his name written all over it.
That was a much better lead from Hope. He's struggled a little bit trying to get in front of Mackenzie today, and that is no easy task, but that was a lot better from Darcy Hope. Great lead out at the ball inside 50.
Frankston YCW by 8 points over Bond Beach in the last quarter. Tight game over there. And at RJ Rowley Reserve, nearly 10 minutes into this last quarter. Karingal, I can feel it in their veins. In 2019, they fell short against Red Hill in the grand final. We know what happened in 2020 and 2021. But in 2022, they're looking to advance. Would have been nice if Darcy Hope did kick that, but he's just missed off to the right.
Would have assisted your call there as well, Dill, but...
Still a 42-point lead.
So McDonald at full back for Summy, plays on almost immediately. Kicking out to Wybrow. Some great defensive work there from Oscar Whitty, who's been in and around the contest today. He's played a great game. Walker Swain had the leg speed to get to the ball in time. Then he plays on. Somerville looking to play fast-paced footy, trying to get any sort of goals in their favour. Gillis wants a free kick, won't get it. Lachlan Linda Saunders, savagely tackled by Gillis. But here we go again. At the stoppage, Roberts tried to find Sharp, but he dropped it. Cowell didn't have a lot of room, but somehow managed to get it out and kick it out of bounds on the full. The fan there's tried to give it a good punch. Get him in the ones. Paul, dagger of a kick.
Great kick.
Leading out. Oh, he's called no mark. Must have been touched first. Sharp wasn't quick enough. That is disappointing for Summy. That was a great kick inside 50. And now we're going to have more congestion. And that just sums up the day for Somerville. It was a brilliant kick inside 50, but received no rewards for it.
Somerville still on the attack. Burton applies the pressure and Mason slaps it forward. A 2-on-1. Walker Swain arrives on the scene, but we'll have a boundary throw in. 50 out from goal. Oh, the scuffle begins. Umpire refrains from blowing the whistle. And Mason's ready now to rove around this pack. Roberts down to ground. Dixon nudged as he kicked it. Wybrow also included in the play. Diving on it. Tenacity on display, refusing their opponent to let their opponents take away the footy. And a ball up at the 50. Roberts down to disadvantage the Bulls. Get it to the wing, and it's McLeod. And first bite, big bump, Moroney. 1 goal against his name today. And at the wing, we'll have a whistle. Finally a ball up. You can just sense that the Bulls know they're almost there. 13 minutes through this last quarter. Roberts, Nagel, left without it, but he's given a free kick. We'll get some around the ground scores for you shortly on Division 1. As they go through the middle. Roberts takes the mark and blasts it into the 50. Gillis will have to play the roving job. Walker Swain tried to mark it. Sharp snaps. And there's the first goal for a while for the Eagles. Lachlan Sharp.
You can tell by their reaction, though, that they know this one's out of reach. 36 points now for the Somerville Eagles. But yeah, sharp goals there, and almost no one got around him. So Karingal have all but sealed this one.
2-point game over at Rosebud, Baz.
Jeez. So high stake football in Div 1. This one probably hasn't been as close as we would have liked in the second half, but it is really setting up for what should be a terrific grand final next Saturday. Karingal versus Langwarrin it will be. Dixon shoves it forward. Darcy Hope didn't lead out properly, just didn't read it correctly, and a quick free kick is paid. Going the way of Scott Jansen, who enters inside 50. That's a clever looking kick. And he's hit the man on the mark. And gee, I thought that was the wrong decision, but no, he's aims it perfectly. And on an extremely tough angle, Seth Kelly. From about 47 out. We know the goal he kicked at the opposite end. And sorry, I've said Seth Kelly, it's Sam Glenn. Thought I saw a bit of a 5 there. Maybe Robinson was just in front. But Sam Glenn, he's going to play on here. And that's coming back. Looks good, won't have the distance, however. And it's punched over the line for a rushed behind. And my mistake there. Thought it was Seth Kelly with the 5, but no, Sam Glenn was on the set shot.
McKenzie from full back. Numbers to the wing. Cal with advanced tech in the fist. Hand passes it. Worked through the middle, taken high. And the Bulls, they're just continuing to attack. Bradley to half forward. Glenn again. Vade Simon out of bounds. Still a 2-point game at Rosebud. 16 minutes through here at Rye. Karingal by 37. Roberts paddles it down. Off the shin of Nagel. And walking the tightrope of the Bulls. Jansen raising the arms, removing his opponent from the equation. Centering it for Kelly. And this time he has space. And this time he had the chance and he's hit the inside of the post. And another behinds for the Bulls, who lead it by 38 points. And from full back, it's the Eagles. A tumble sort of punt. Walker Swain watched it bounce for him. He's tripped over the line. The umpire says we'll have a boundary throw in.
.38 points the difference. This preliminary final. Right. What a season it's been for the Summy Eagles. Unfortunate that it's ended in this way. But they will definitely be going back into next year with a lot of optimism. Wybrow puts Matthews, I think it was, in a tackle. We've set up for another stoppage. And here is the ruckman in Roberts. He's had a great game today. Fortunately, couldn't lead his side. Or won't be able to lead his side to a victory. But has been pivotal in the ruck. No wonder why he's on the Collingwood VFL list. So Roberts wins another hit out. And to no one's advantage, it's clogged up once again.
Just keeping a close eye at Rosebud, Bailey. Over there fighting for a spot in the prelim, and another tackle. Rather the grand final. Frankston YCW and Bond Beach the 1v2 seed, and it's still YCW by 2 points late in the fourth quarter. Roberts tapping it down by design for Mason, who tossed one up in the air and then he went and collected it himself. And Somerville off the deck into their forward 50. Cowell takes it away. Underground hand pass. Had to work for Matthews. And he's also overwhelmed by plenty of Eagles. Another throw up at half forward. Smale in the ruck for the Bulls. Roberts still fighting for the clearance. Good combat in the contest here. And steamrolling on through. Gillis, Nathan Gillis, and punch back the way of Somerville into the hands of McMahon. Had to be taken high. Or in fact, it's a high fend-off. The Bulls have it. Matthews calling for it. Whitty decides to slow it down. And they're being diligent by foot here. Are the Bulls. Dixon with attributes. Speeds past across the wing. McKenzie at the back. Affected the contest, but it leaked out to Punteroni. Hope. He was wanting the lead. He might still get it, but they all crush on him. And another scrum. 40 metres out from goal. Nearly 20 minutes through. Karingal 12-12-84. Somerville 6-10-46 on the Chisholm Sports Academy scoreboard. And wrestling out of there, Hope still wants another against his name. Matthews had to wait at the mercy of the bounce. He backpedaled for Cal, who now accelerates. Chips inside. And on the 50, the mark is taken for the Bulls. He'll wind up on the left. No, he won't. He'll dart one inside, but it's cut off. Play on is the call. Having to improvise for the Eagles. Burton in defence. Pressed by Battams to centre half forward. A one-on-one. Linda Saunders able to tap it down. But here's Lockie Williams. He just decides to launch towards goal. Wasn't a favourable bounce. And we'll have a boundary throw in.
Somerville found their way back into their 50.
And Bonbeach have hit the lead, Baz, at Rosebud.
Oh, geez. Big matchup shaping there at Rosebud. Bonbeach have hit the front, as Dill said, over YCW. Eyes on here at the moment. Bradley, who's looked a bit sore in the past couple of minutes. He's slow to get up. He's been limping a little bit. It's actually going to be a free kick towards Josh Bradley in the end. So Gillis running back. Wasn't able to get there in time. So in the back pocket. Kicking it down to the wing. Looking for Bailey McLeod, who took a great mark over Harrison Paul. Now maybe pushing the tempo up a bit. And no, it's going to be immediately intercepted. Now looking to centre it. Burton. Try to get the knee up. Now Sharp. Plays on. That is a woeful kick. But plays on does Gillis. Looking for his brother. Almost took a one-handed grab. Now Mason. He's going to try centre it himself. Bradley trying to fill the hole. Play is hitting the ground there. Karingal have the numbers. And here with a paddock of space is Travis Punteroni. Slows it down a bit. 22 minutes into the final term. So Leslie is going to mark it a half back.
Leslie for Matthews, called to play on. Back to the hands of Leslie. Now he'll honour the voice of Punteroni, who's also told to play on, and he dishes one off high for Patrick Nagel. Nagel too far out to score. He has leads. Mason teetering between making a lead and staying back, but it was Nathan Gillis in the end who found a little channel to lead into.
Nathan Gillis hasn't been too bad in the past couple of minutes. He's let out the footy nicely.
His brother yet to kick one today. He's provided opportunities, and it's Nathan Gillis for a late one on the board. He's hooked it left. And it's a minor score. 6-11 plays 12-12 in this preliminary final. Karingal are not far away, 23 minutes through.
So they're going to go through the centre here, it seems, like Karingal. The handball from Whitty didn't hit the target of Pomeroy, so they turned it over. Young, he tried to find anyone open. Karingal got to it first. They do have the numbers, though, the Eagles. So Roberts sends it forward. Gillis! almost leapt up and took a great one. Now Lachlan Linda Saunders racing for it. Leslie was tackled as soon as he got the ball. They're pressured nicely here. Gillis lays a good tackle. No free kick rewarded, and it should be a stoppage right in front of the goal.
And while we stop for a moment, YCW have hit the front 25 and a half minutes into the last quarter.
Jeez. High intense game down there at Rosebud. Sharp versus Smale. Sharp looking to just tap it to himself, and it's hit the post. So almost immediately kicked out. Now sitting in the pocket. Just assessing his options. Was Whitty. And then a drop mark by Kelly. Trying to push through. Gave it off by hands and was tackled immediately his teammate. And 36 points is the margin at the moment. 24 and a half minutes into the final term. Karingal are going to make another grand final. Back-to-back years, you could say, 2020 and 2021 were both affected by COVID. As 2019 was the last time they made a grand final, lost to Red Hill. And now they have another opportunity, this time against the undefeated Langwarrin side, looking to be promoted into Division 1. They kicked out of the pack and then smothered, eventually getting out were the Eagles. Great defensive work. Good job. Oh, they've actually counted that a goal. Sorry, I thought it went through for a behind there, and it is just kind of tumbled its way through there. And just judging by the player reactions, I thought he'd miss it, but there were no celebrations around the grounds, and Somerville kicked their 7th for the game. So they're now down by 30 points, and the siren is set to go very soon.
Jack Maroney with his second goal of the day comes late in this fourth quarter. Roberts given the free kick, but there is the siren, and Karingal cooperate to cruise through to another grand final. It's their second consecutive year. 2019 they fell short.